Dear students, I am Ekta. Today, we are going to learn about symmetry. You might have noticed symmetry in many things around you every day. For example, when you look at butterfly, you can see that both sides of its wings are the same. This is an example of symmetry. Symmetry means that something looks the same even after we move it in different ways. In this lesson, we will explore different types of symmetry, like how objects look the same after they are flipped, turned, or moved. Understanding symmetry helps us see patterns in nature, art, and even everyday objects. Let's start learning about the types of symmetry and how they work. Learning outcomes. After the completion of this lesson, you will be able to learn about different types of symmetry: translation, reflection, and rotation. Understand how objects look the same after being moved or turned. Know how to find the order of rotational symmetry in shapes. Keywords from this lesson: symmetry, translation, reflection, rotation, rotational symmetry, order of symmetry, angle of rotation, shapes, patterns, mirror image, center of rotation. Types of symmetry. Symmetry can be viewed when you flip, turn, or slide an object. There are 4 types of symmetry that can be observed in various cases. Translational symmetry, reflexive symmetry, glide symmetry, rotational symmetry, translation symmetry occurs when an object can be moved from one position to another along a specific direction while maintaining the same orientation in both forward and backward motions. This means the object's appearance remains unchanged as it slides along a fixed axis. Essentially, it involves the sliding of an object along a specific axis without any rotation or alternation in its appearance. Reflexive symmetry. Reflective symmetry, also known as mirror symmetry, is a type of symmetry where one half of an object is a mirror image of the other half. In other words, if the object is divided along a central axis, the two halves are identical in shape and size but in reverse orientation. A common example of this symmetry can be seen in human faces, where the left and right sides are nearly identical, forming a balanced, mirrored reflection. Glide symmetry. Glide symmetry is the combination of both translation and reflection transformations. In class 7, we will only focus in detail about rotational symmetry. What is rotational symmetry? Rotational symmetry happens when a figure can be rotated around a fixed point and it looks the same after a certain amount of rotation. For example, consider a star shape. If we rotate it about a fixed point by a certain angle, and the figure looks exactly the same as before, we say that this star shape has rotational symmetry. Even though the point marked on the star is rotating, the star still looks the same in every orientation. This is called rotational symmetry. Angle of rotational symmetry. The minimum angle of rotation of a figure to get exactly the same figure as original is called angle of rotational symmetry or angle of rotation. To understand the angle of rotational symmetry, we will take one example of triangle. Consider a triangle in figure with point A as one of its corners. Figure 1 shows the triangle in its initial position. Now, if we rotate the triangle by 120 degrees around the center, we get figure 2. Notice the position of point A. Next, rotate the triangle by another 120 degrees. And you will get figure 3. After completing 3 rotations, the triangle returned to its original position. After each rotation, the triangle looks exactly the same as it did in the original position. In this activity, the position in figure 2, figure 3 and figure 4 obtained by rotating the triangle by 120 degree, 240 degree and 360 degree all look exactly like the original figure 1. The smallest of these rotations, 120 degree, is called the angle of rotational symmetry. Similarly, for a square, the minimum angle of rotational symmetry is 90 degree. Order of rotational symmetry. The order of rotational symmetry refers to how many times a shape fits onto itself during a full 360-degree rotation. Note: every figure has rotational symmetry of order 1. because it can always be rotated 360 degrees and returned to its original position. However, an object only has rotational symmetry if its order of symmetry is greater than 1, meaning it looks the same after rotating by a specific angle less than 360 degrees. To find the order, rotate the shape until it looks the same as the original and count how many times it matches within one full turn, 360 degrees. Examples. A square has an order of 4 because it looks the same after rotating 90 degree, 180 degree, 270 degree and 360 degree. The angle of rotational symmetry of square is 90 degrees and the figure is turned through the angle of rotational symmetry for 4 times before it comes to original position. A triangle equilateral has an order of 3 matching after rotating 120 degree each time. The angle of rotational symmetry is 120 degrees and the figure is turned through the angle of rotational symmetry for 3 times to get exactly the same position as the original one. A circle has infinite rotational symmetry because it can be rotated by any angle and still look the same. Fill the following table. For Z, line of symmetry no, number of line symmetry is 0, rotational symmetry is yes, and order of rotational symmetry is 2. For E, line symmetry is yes, number of line symmetry is 1, rotational symmetry is no, and order of rotational symmetry is 1. For S, line symmetry is no, number of line symmetry is 0, rotational symmetry is yes, and order of rotational symmetry is 2. For H, lines of symmetry is yes, number of line symmetry is 2, rotational symmetry is yes, and order of rotational symmetry is 2. For C, lines of symmetry is yes, number of lines of symmetry is 1, rotational symmetry is no, and order of rotational symmetry is 1. Points to remember. Symmetry means an object looks the same after it is flipped, turned, or moved. Rotational symmetry happens when a shape looks the same after rotating around a center point. the minimum angle of rotation of a figure to get exactly the same figure as original is called angle of rotational symmetry. An object only has rotational symmetry if its order of symmetry is greater than 1.